Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to see you here today. In this lesson, we are going to learn one of the most useful and important things in everyday English: how to talk about your job. This is something you need in daily life, during interviews, while traveling, in casual conversations, and even online. Many English learners find it difficult to speak about their jobs in a clear and confident way. So today, I will teach you how to describe your job, your daily tasks, where you work, and how to use simple English sentences to sound natural and fluent. Let's start by understanding why it's important to know how to talk about your job. In real life, when you meet someone new, it's very common that they ask you about your work. You might be talking to a friend, a stranger at an event, someone in a meeting, or even someone in another country while traveling. If you can answer clearly, it shows confidence, fluency, and helps build a connection. It's also very helpful if you're preparing for interviews or writing your CV in English. So, this skill is not just for conversation, it's also for professional success. Now, let's talk about the kinds of questions you might hear in these situations. You don't need to memorize too many questions. In fact, just 3 to 4 main questions are enough to help you speak naturally and ask others about their job. Let me show you which ones are most useful and how to use them properly. The first question is, what do you do? This is a very short and common way to ask about someone's job. You will hear this question a lot in English-speaking countries. People ask this when they want to know your profession or how you make a living. You can answer this question in a few simple ways. You can say, I'm a teacher, or I'm an engineer. Another way is to say, I work as a nurse, or I work as a designer. If you want to talk about your industry instead of your exact job, you can say, I work in education, or I work in finance. So you have 3 useful formats: I work as a, and I work in. Choose one depending on what you want to focus on. For example, if you want to say your job title, use I am a. If you want to sound a bit more formal or descriptive, say I work as a, and if you want to talk about the industry, say I work in. The second useful question is, where do you work? You may hear this in social situations or during small talk. It's asking about the place, company, or location where you do your job. To answer, you can say, I work at a hospital, or I work at a school. If you want to talk about the company, say, I work for a software company, or I work for a government agency. If you run your own business, you can say, I have my own business, or I'm self-employed. If you work from home, you can simply say, I work from home. Here's something important. When you answer these questions, you don't need to give too much detail unless someone asks. Just one short, clear sentence is enough. Remember, work at is used for places, work for is used for companies or bosses, and work in is used for departments or fields. Let's go to the third useful question. What do you do at work? This is more detailed. People may ask you this when they are interested in your daily routine or responsibilities. You might hear this in interviews, networking events, or even when a friend is simply curious. To answer this, talk about your tasks using action verbs. For example, I help customers with orders, or I design websites for clients, or I manage a team of 5 people. You can also say, I am responsible for, or my job involves, or most of the time, I. These are great phrases to describe your daily work in a clear and professional way. For example, I'm responsible for checking and sending emails, or my job involves scheduling appointments and answering calls. Another important question you might hear is, what is a typical day like for you? This question is asking about your daily schedule. It's often used in interviews or professional discussions. You don't need to make it complicated. Just describe your routine in order. Start with your morning. I usually start work at 9 a.m. Then move to your daytime tasks. I check my emails and attend meetings. Finally, mention when you finish. I end my day around 6 p.m. Use time words like usually, then, after that, and finally to make your answer flow better. Here's an example. I usually start my day by replying to emails. Then I work on my main projects. In the afternoon, I have meetings with my team. I finish work around 6. Now that we've covered the main questions, let's focus on how you can describe your job using simple sentences. You don't need to use complex grammar or big words. You just need to speak clearly. First, say your job title. I'm a receptionist. Next, say where you work. I work at a hotel. Then, describe what you do. I check in guests and answer phone calls. Finally, share a simple opinion if you want. I enjoy talking to people. This is a very nice and clear structure that works in all situations. Let's do another example. I'm a mechanic. I work at a car repair shop. I fix engines and change oil. I like working with my hands. Or, I'm a student. I study business at college. I attend lectures and do assignments. I find it very interesting. Let's now go over some useful vocabulary you can use based on different professions. If you are a teacher, common words include teach, prepare lessons, mark tests, meet parents, and manage classrooms. For example, I teach math and prepare worksheets for students. If you are an office worker, some useful words are send emails, attend meetings, create reports, manage files, and make calls. You might say, I prepare presentations and help with data entry. If you are in the tech field, like IT or software, you can use words like develop apps, test software, fix bugs, update systems, and write code. You could say, I build websites and solve technical problems. If you work in the medical field, your vocabulary might include treat patients, prescribe medicine, assist doctors, check vital signs, or take care of people. You might say, I take care of patients and assist the doctor during checkups. If you work in a store or market, you can use words like serve customers, manage the cash register, stock shelves, answer questions, and keep things clean. You could say, I help customers find items and process payments at the counter. Learning this vocabulary helps you talk about your work clearly, no matter your profession. Now, let's move on to how to ask others about their jobs, but remember, you don't need to ask too many questions. In most situations, 1 or 2 polite questions are enough. You can ask, what do you do for a living, or simply, what do you do? This is friendly and shows interest. You can also ask, where do you work, if you want to know more. Don't ask personal questions like, how much do you earn, or do you like your boss, unless you are very close to the person. In general conversation, it's better to keep things professional and polite. You can also show interest by using follow-up comments like, that sounds interesting, or wow, that must be exciting, instead of asking many questions. Let's now do a short practice example. Imagine someone asks you, what do you do? You can say, I'm a graphic designer. I work for a small company that creates posters and websites. My job involves using design software, talking to clients, and managing deadlines. I love being creative, and I enjoy seeing the final product. This answer is simple, complete, and sounds natural. Now it's your turn to practice. Try saying 3 or 4 sentences about your own job. Start with your job title. Then talk about where you work. Next, describe what you do. Finally, share your feelings about it. For example, I'm a data analyst. I work at a bank. I analyze numbers and prepare reports. I enjoy working with data and solving problems. Try writing your answer in the comments or practicing it out loud. This helps you build confidence and fluency. Before we end, I want to give you some quick tips to improve your English fast. First, speak out loud every day. Even if you are alone, say your job description to yourself in the mirror. Second, write about your day in English, especially about what you did at work. This builds your writing and thinking skills. Third, try to use English at work, even just in small tasks like sending messages or labeling folders. Fourth, watch videos like this one regularly to improve your listening and speaking. And finally, don't be afraid to make mistakes. So, let's review what you learned today. You now know how to talk about your job in English. You learned how to answer common questions like, what do you do? Where do you work? What do you do at work? And what's a typical day like for you? You also learned how to use useful phrases and vocabulary to describe your daily tasks. You practiced how to answer with confidence and how to ask others politely about their jobs. And you got some tips on how to practice English in your daily life. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please give it a like and share it with someone who's also learning English. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more easy and practical English lessons. And if you want, write your job description in the comments. I'll read it and give you feedback. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and happy learning!